Hello there, Dr. Sheep here. Welcome back to TGIF Talks, episode 111. Woohoo! 11111. Or 3 ones, not 4. I'm,
One.
jo- I'm joined with my co host, Anonymous Phil.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, let's roll the intro. These podcasts are not broken down to parts, and so we'll just jump right into things. So, how are you today?
Doing fine.
Anything exciting happened since the last podcast? So, a week ago, give or take?
I guess 7 more days have passed.
Oh, 7 more days. And in those 7 days, you didn't die.
Yeah, can you believe it?
Yes.
It's discouraging every time.
It's discouraging every time. Oh, mother. God damn it. My stacks of quarters are falling over. Well, anyways. Alright. Well, so, I guess things to talk about. So, what I've been doing is to my fellow friends. So you know how I'm working on this pottery thing, right?
I do.
Okay, so they don't. So basically, for the past several months, ever since I did the science vlog video where I took those lifesaver mints and tried to crush them up and see if we could. They do generate blue light, but obviously you can't see that in any of the footage, unfortunately. But I had candy.
Really? I thought we had a couple shot.
I don't remember if they ever showed up on the camera though.
I thought we did.
I don't know. I'll have to rewatch. But anyways, what was I going to say? So
The blue light when you smash it with the mints, and somehow that correlates into pottery.
right. So but I had all these extra mints, and so I put them in a bowl, and I was like, you know what I want? I want a bowl to sit on my table. And so, but I wanted it to kind of fit underlying theme of my apartment, which is either geography, the periodic table, or astronomy. So I was like, well, I want to get a bowl and make it
I was
astronomy.
going to say a flea shop.
That too. That is an underlying theme of this place. Random junk. Anyways, so I was like, okay, so I don't want to just get like a plastic bowl and paint it or just get like some generic plastic bowl. I want a ceramic bowl. And well, I was like, well, I don't want to just buy a pre-finished ceramic bowl and finish it. And so I was like, Googling, I'm like, okay, there's got to be a way to do this without going to a local business called Paint Yourself Silly to do this. And I wasn't really getting any luck. This one article is like, hey, you can get bake-on glazes. And I'm like, perfect. They didn't really specify anything else beyond that. They just said bake-on glazes exist. I'm like, cool. So, yesterday, I went to Paint Yourself Silly, and I picked up a bowl. Nope. Pretty generic, plain, unfinished, possibly carcinogenic bowl. And they offer a few deals where they're like, oh, you can buy their glaze and paint it yourself, then bring it back because they only give you an hour to do it anyways. And so then, you have to pay for the hour, blah, 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 blah. I was like, I'll try and get this bake-on glazes. So I went to Michael's, our local paint store, and yet they didn't have anything. They're like, we don't have any glazes, period. And I'm like, what the? So, I went and sent the 100 letters to the senators, and I went home and scoured the internet. It is unbelievably difficult not to just get baked on glazes, but to get glaze in general.
Hmm.
Like, I
Never knew
figured,
that.
I figured it'd be super easy. You just type it in Amazon and boom. No.
No?
No. No, you can't just get like a specific color. You can't get crap. I found an art like dealer supplier people that like have like a whole bunch of companies that you can buy from for for glaze. But I'm like, at this point, I might as well go back to paint yourself silly and just do the whole process there. So
that's the plan?
I guess. Whole point of this whole excursion, I spent I don't know how much time and how much driving around and wandering around stores and all in an effort to end up just going straight back to where it all started anyways and doing it there. However, my only issue is I haven't glazed something since middle school. Not even middle school, 6th grade. And I'm trying to remember whether or not you can if you can glaze over glaze. So basically, I want to glaze the whole thing black. Okay? And then go and paint on stars and the constellations. Well, I'll have like lines between like the major parts of the constellations, which is why I didn't want to do it there because this is going to take a while. Because if I have to let the first layer or two dry and then do my own, and then do all these stars and stuff, let those dry, go back over them again, it's like...
I seem to remember having to make lines. Like... Maybe this is just so they can streamline the process in school. But I seem to remember, like, you had to mark where the edge of the paint would stop.
Well, that is something I need to figure out. I don't know. If that is something that is true, that's going to make my job a lot more difficult.
I don't recall. It's been a while for me, too.
Right. Although, there's always an option of glazing it completely black, taking it home, grabbing my acrylic paint, and then just painting the stars on. Yes, they will probably come off, but I am out of options.
Let's get a white Sharpie. Do they make those?
Yeah, but this is glass. You're literally sticking it. You're trying to write on glass. That is the difficult part. And glass is
You can write on glass.
Not permanently.
Well, yeah, everything comes off with something.
Glass is notoriously difficult to write on. Because that's what these glazes are. They're literally just silicate powder.
What do you mean? I've written on windows and mirrors before.
Permanently?
No, not permanently, with a marker.
Yes, this needs to be permanent.
I didn't have a whiteboard, so I wrote on the window.
Yes, so that defeats the purpose of what I'm trying to do. But no, this glaze it really is just glass. That's why it needs to be put in a kiln. And the bake-on glazes, well, they're just hard to find, and they honestly don't do quite what I want them to do. It does, from the sounds of it, like it sounds like they make bake-on glazes, but only for polymer glaze, like the kind of stuff you'd buy at Walmart or what. Well, I guess you could probably buy real clay at Walmart, but just the stuff you'd give to kids or whatever, that kind of polymer clay. But I don't know.
Kids.
I gotta figure it out. I gotta ask people. I'll have to talk to Kyle. I'm sure he knows all about this whole process, and he can give me wisdom and guidance. Maybe. Hopefully. Otherwise,
I don't know nothing.
Otherwise, I'll have to hit up Pickle and see what she says. She's not she does mostly, paintings, but I'm sure she knows something about ceramics or can get me in the right direction for people who do know things about ceramics. So.
Or not.
Or I just gotta walk in to paint yourself silly, prepared to lay down an hour's worth of time, be like, so, I need to do this. Is this going to work?
Well, yeah, I'm sure they could point you in the right direction. That's what they specialize in, isn't it?
Yeah. It's just, it was weird. I walked in there Monday, and it was just empty, and I'm like, Am I just going to sit here and just, like, paint one of these times?
Yeah. I'll go with you.
Oh, what are you going to do?
be there for moral support?
Yeah, I was gonna say you're not gonna paint.
No, I'll be there for support. I'll
Yeah.
help you get through the day. I'll give you company.
Well, what I'll probably end up doing is asking them how this works, because I suspect it's gonna take me more than an hour to do this. So I will probably just buy paint.
You just spray paint it.
No, that defeats the purpose of this whole excursion. Defeats the purpose.
Can you not spray paint it?
You can, but it defeats the whole purpose of this whole excursion.
Why?
Because I want it to be that glossy black that you would get from glaze.
So then buy glossy black paint.
Yeah, so it smells like spray paint, and when I put unshelled nuts in it, you're gonna go to eat one. It's like it tastes and smells like paint.
I like paint.
I don't like paint. It's also highly carcinogenic.
And?
What do you mean, and? You want cancer?
Yeah.
You heard it here first, folks. When Phil dies of cancer in 60 years.
I feel kind of left out, you know? It's like, what, the number one, number two leading cause of death? How come I haven't had a turn?
Pretty sure it's number two. Number one is heart disease.
Well, I guess I'm in the running for that. Maybe I'll get lucky.
We all are in the running for heart disease. As an American, we're like guaranteed, so.
Yeah. But sodium.
I mean, that's what they said, and then they said, nope, it's just...
No, that's what I say. I don't know what they say.
And then they also say it's just because we eat too much junk, so.
Junk?
And eat too much.
We're eating junk. Like, we dig into the trash, and the literal stuff that we throw into the trash we eat.
Yeah, you know all those companies with like, we use food that gets thrown away. Yeah, that's little junk. You're eating junk.
What about plastic?
I mean, I think it's a known fact now that microplastics have been found in humans, so.
So have you looked into it? Do you get your microplastic intake for the day? Daily intake?
I try and avoid it. I think it really depends on how much fish you eat, I think.
But you avoid getting your daily intake?
Absolutely.
It's called a daily intake for a reason. You're supposed to meet the minimum requirements.
The minimum requirement is 0.
No.
Yes. It's
microplastics.
microplastics.
I'm pretty sure carbon is good for you.
Yes, there's carbon in plastics, certain plastics, but this is not.
And you need carbon.
This is not the good type of carbon.
It's a building block of life. How can you build your life if you don't have carbon?
I can eat coal. Actually, that's.
I've tried it. It tastes like dirt.
I'll eat dirt.
It tastes like dirt.
I'll eat dirt. Well, you know what? I'll eat a radish or a potato. Those are dirt. They live in dirt.
Looks like dirt. Smells like dirt.
But doesn't taste like dirt.
Doesn't taste like dirt.
That's a potato for you. Smells like dirt. Looks like dirt.
Put some dirt seasoning on it.
Dirt seasoning.
You just need to season it properly.
Isn't that just what salt is? Salt is dirt.
Salt seasoning.
What?
Wait, but does salt grows on lakes though, doesn't it? Or rivers.
Well, yeah, but you can find it in the soil.
But does it naturally grow in this soil in large quantities? I feel like it naturally grows on the river.
No, not soil that things would grow in. No, salting the earth
it
kills
naturally
it.
grows on the water, right?
What?
Salt grows on the river, right? On lakes and
from the
bodies
ocean.
of water. Exactly. It grows in the ocean.
It doesn't just grow in the ocean. That's not how this works. Salt is found in rocks.
You can't grow salt in the dirt.
Salt comes from rocks. The rocks are broken down by either water or plants and bacteria, and then those little tiny little granules either end up in the ocean, and end up on
Where
the
they
sand
become
next to the
where they
ocean.
multiply.
Or those rocks are broken down by bacteria and such, and they end up in the dirt as a part of the soil. So yes, in theory, it wouldn't be very good soil, but you could find salt in soil.
Just make sure to keep it to a minimum.
Yeah, because you ever heard of salting the earth?
The phrase sounds familiar. I guess I never thought of the implications of what it means.
Well, I mean, it's devil worship as part of the thing, but also it kills literally everything on the soil. So I've always wanted to see it. Go out to a field and just in the spring and just pour a bunch of salt and just draw lines of death. It's dark.
Life or death.
Lines of death. I'm very dark.